Hey there, you guys, welcome back. It's that time of year again, and we are going to do a garden tour. This is the first one of the year, 2023. It's May, at the end of May. I haven't done it in a long time, and I usually do it at the beginning of May when things start to sprout, but we are getting it at the end of May. For some things that I've taken photos of that are out of flower, I will see if I have anything in my camera roll to see if I can insert it as we see the plant, because some things were beautiful this spring. And some things, well, didn't really do much. Anyway, let's just get to it. Let's wander about. I gotta get to work. So hopefully you enjoy. Let's get on with this tour. So this year is going to be a year of moving things around, putting things where I think they should be. We've been in this house for, this is the 6th year, so the gardens are 4 years old, I believe, many of them. Some of them are only 3, but after 3 years, that's when things start to really show some size, and we are seeing it now. As you can see, the dogwood is looking pretty nice. It was touch and go there for a couple of years, but it's really starting to come into its own. Finally, we'll get closer to that in a second. The boxwoods are getting nice and big. We got lots of new growth. We'll look at those a little closer in a second. This peony beside this boxwood needs to get moved. It's starting to produce some flowers, so I'll wait until after the blooms. My aunt gave that to me as a single root, I don't know, 4 years ago, and I just needed a place to put it, and it's grown beautifully. I didn't know if it was going to bloom. I might have planted it too deep, but it looks like it's going to start flowering. So that's super. We moved this turtle out to the front. It used to be underneath the Japanese maple. They used to be absolutely tiny. I'm going to be working on pruning this guy out to allow some more airflow into the center of the plant, and also so you can kind of sort of see through it. I cut a few branches out the other day, and I didn't want to do a lot more at the moment. I want to sit back, look at it, and then prune out a couple more branches later on. So that'll be over the summertime. We will make that into what I want it to be. It's starting to get some nice shape to it now. It's a little bit more wispy. Before, for the last few years, it just looked like a ball. So yeah, we'll get into that one in a second. So that's the front flower bed. And then we'll pan around here. This is the one by the road. We'll start here. There's not much changed here, but I did take out right here. I took out the pink hibiscus. It wasn't doing well for the last few years. The flowers were significantly smaller, and they're so brittle, and I spent a lot of time just paying attention to it, and the reward hasn't been that great, and it goes to seed really, really quick. So I ended up putting in a hydrangea. This is a pinky winky, what is a paniculata, I believe is what it is. So this one's going to have a nice pink white ombre. This is what I thought we'd have in the driveway garden, but the one in the driveway doesn't do an ombre, it just switches to pink. So this one should be a little bit more nicer of a show. The lavender is doing beautiful. It stays so dry here, the lavender. This is the platinum blonde lavender with the white variegation, as you can probably see here. And then the sedums, this is very dry, like I said, so I'll have to water the hydrangea frequently because they like a lot of water, but the other guys, not so much. So the sedums and the hens and chicks are doing lovely. We got another type of sedum here. Not looking as nice. I might need to divide this out. It kind of looks a little weedy. I might actually get rid of it. It's not looking like I wanted it to look. This one is beautiful. Like this one a lot. We got the Echinacea Twister. This one last year, I think it was just purple. It didn't have the band of green, which is crazy. The year before, when I first got it, it had the band of green. So we'll see what it does this year. This is the Sempervivum water lotus, or lotus bloom. It's looking beautiful. It's so deep. It has a margin of white and pink. And then this one is the Sedum Sieboldi, the variegation reversion. So this one is the regular blue form in the backyard. I have the variegated form. And then this one is like a cosmic purple or something, cosmic grape. And the hyacinths, which are in this garden, all of the bulbs here are hyacinths at the moment. They were in bloom, they were mixed colors, and they were gorgeous. I'll try to put a photo of some of the hyacinths right now. And then we've got this, what is this? The Siberian iris, I believe. I think this is pink parfait or something. It's getting so much bigger. When I got it, it was just a single stem, and I love it. And then we got this, this is a sun sparkler type sedum. This isn't a creeping one. I believe this is just a short upright version, a clumper, which is lovely. I like the border of pink. It's so pretty. I think I need to do something around it because it really disappears into the mulch, as you can see. And then we've got the Stokes aster, I believe. I think that's what it is. The big blue aster. It's so beautiful. Can't wait for it to start flowering. I think that's a early summer bloomer. Correct me if I'm wrong. And looking forward to that. So let's go into the regular garden. Oh, let's pan over to this. Can't wait to go to the driveway garden because things are changing there. I'm not doing a lot of annuals there this year. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. Like I said, the boxwoods are doing beautifully. We got lots of new growth on it this year. Looks like the boxwood psyllid are hard at work. They're the little guys that are flying around in there. I don't know whether you're able to see them. They're just tiny little gnat-like things. And when they lay their eggs, the larvae come up and they curl up the boxwoods. It shouldn't kill the plant. It just is unsightly. What else do we got here? Oh, I love this one. This is the Atlantis sedum. It's so pretty. I love the very bold white-green variegation. So pretty. And the Japanese forest grass is just coming up. And soon enough, it's going to fill in this whole zone under here. The turtle will pretty well be covered. So can't wait for that to grow out. Like I said, the Japanese maple is getting pretty big. I would say it's as tall as me, so it's probably about 6'6". Maybe a little shorter. It might be 6'5". I can't get close to it. It's getting pretty wide. It's probably 6 or 8 feet wide now. And then over here, like I said, I've got to clean things up. This is not a year of annuals. There's not a lot of space for annuals, which is what you kind of go for when you're doing a nice garden. You want a couple of pops of color, but you don't want to have to invest hundreds of dollars in annuals if you don't have to. Especially now, times are tough. The gentian here is a summer flower, and it's coming up beautifully. The leaves are so pretty. This is a new one for me. I planted this last fall. This is winter aconite, so it's in the buttercup family. It is poisonous, but yeah, it's a lovely one. It flowered in the spring. Next year the show should be better, but it's gone to seed, and yeah, look, I loved it. It was beautiful. And then I've got the cactus back here. Can you see that? It looks like we've got all kinds of buds starting on that. And then we've got the, what is this one? The Dutch iris. And I thought that this was dead. It didn't grow last year, and then in the fall it started to sprout up again. And now I'm getting one flower. I might just remove it. I don't really like it there. I might put it in the back. And then the sage, the variegated sage, it's so pretty. It came back this year. I love it. I think it's a perennial to zone 5, so there's no reason why it shouldn't have come back. But it was the first year for me, and I'm excited. So the clump's going to be much bigger this year. It's going to add a little pop of color like an annual would. Can you see all the boxwood psyllids in there? The little flies? There, you can see them. And then you might even be able to see here, I don't know if this is the larva. Where are they? Down in there, the white in the center. Well, you see them all over the place. I think that that's going to cause the leaves to curl in. I could spray for them, but I'm not going to. Let nature take its course. Like I said, it's not going to kill the plant. It's just going to be unsightly. It's going to cup the leaves. We got some sedum. There's the peony. Hopefully these buds don't blast. Last year it started to produce some buds, and then they blasted. Wow, look at all the psyllids in there. All the little gnat-like things. You can see them flying around. Makes me itchy just looking at it. They're all over the yews too. The yews I planted last year, I believe, and they're just looking amazing. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. These years are bleeding by. Like they're just going so quick. And then the sedum autumn joy. It's looking lovely back there. need to remember to water it. Back there, it doesn't get water because of the porch. Look at all the new growth. Oh, those yews are so beautiful. And I don't know what this is. I'm going to call it a variegated holly, but it's not a holly. It's not an ilex. It's something else, but it's doing well. I've had that planted for many years. I got that as a spring plant, or even a winter plant, to put in an arrangement. And I planted it outside thinking it was hardy, and it is. And it looks like my geranium is starting to bloom, the cranesbill, but the flowers are all underneath at the moment, hiding its pink. And then the beautiful gentian that's here. Oh, it's looking so nice. It looked nicer a few days ago. I took a photo. I think I posted it to Instagram. It's so pretty. I love how blue it is. And then this dogwood is lovely. It's taller than me now, so when I got it, it grows so slow. But when I got it, it was pretty small. And I keep saying, oh, it's not growing, it's not growing. But now it's as tall as me. Look at all the blooms, all the flowers that are coming out. It's going to be just beautiful in a week or two when these turn white, and then they go to a pink color. But look at them, they're so beautiful. And then another thing here, the turtle head is looking lovely. I'm going to take a few of these turtle heads out and probably plant them in the driveway garden. Yeah, it's just getting so big, soon we won't be able to walk past to the side of the house. I haven't planted anything at the side of the house. The garlic is growing, and we have some moonflowers that I planted over here. We had a cold night. We're having a few cold nights. We got a frost, a heavy frost. A couple of nights ago. I put a towel over it, but the cold temperatures the plants didn't like it. But they're still alive, and hopefully they grow up. I want them to grow up this trellis right here. Yeah, to hopefully block a little bit of wind. And then off to the side, I've got garlic planted. That's what all the green stuff is, all garlic. So let's get over to the driveway garden. Okay, so before we go to the side, I thought we'd stop here first. We've got a bunch of plants that are waiting to get planted in the ground. Every gardener has this section. There's always something that needs to get planted. We got this group planting of geraniums. It's been out in the cold a few nights, not frosted, but cold, and that's where some of this damage is coming from. I'm going to use Celsius because that's what I'm familiar with. It's been getting down to like 4 degrees. Not terribly common, but it does dip down. If there's any risk of frost, I do move them into the garage. So hopefully the nighttime temperatures will be around 10 degrees or more starting next week. This morning, or in the morning tomorrow, it's supposed to be 6 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be chilly. We've got some zinnias that I've started from seed. I've been taking better care of these guys, and I've got some small ones and some tall ones. These are going to be my annuals that go into the ground this year. I'm not doing much more. And then I've got these planters that I'm doing this year. I divided one of my snake plants, so I have the same one on either side. And then it's sunny, but it's very filtered light under here under the porch. Hopefully the calibrachoas do well. I don't know if they're going to flower profusely. The coleus is going to do lovely, and the Torrenia, these flowers, I think they're called a wishbone flower, they're going to do really nice as well. So if the calibrachoas don't work out, then that's fine. There's still going to be some life in these guys, but those coleus are just beautiful. Let's go to the driveway garden, but let's stop at the planters along the garage. Okay, so the planters along the garage. This is the boxwood, and I cut out all the dead wood that was in here. Well, most of it looks like there's a little bit more, but this one is finally starting to produce all kinds of new growth. Before it was very sporadic, and this year it's just looking beautiful. It's loaded with growth, so hopefully this bald spot will get filled in very, very soon. I might do some annuals along the front, something trailing. Haven't decided yet. I might just leave it alone. We've got the banana. This is the ice cream banana. Looks like we had some wind the other day. This was stored in the garage over the winter time. We've got new leaf coming out. Again, the wind just whipped. And then down in the base of the pot, we've got some lantana. I haven't done lantana in a few years. I love lantana. So that will be really, really pretty, I hope. So we'll see how that grows. And then we've got the other boxwood here. This one's not doing as well for new growth, but this one has had more new growth than the other one over the years. So yeah. Here is the driveway garden. The hydrangeas are looking beautiful. I'm not doing tropicals on either end. I put hostas. I divided the hostas in the back, and we got a big blue one here, same one at the end, and then I put some Royal Standard on either side here. And yeah, the hydrangeas will probably need some pruning for shaping soon. I don't know whether I'm going to do it this year or next. This one, the wind really hits it, as you can see. It's very lopsided. We'll have to figure something out with that. But yeah, it's so windy. We had to upgrade our posts. I don't know whether I told you last year, but now we used to have the wooden tree stakes, but we've upgraded to the metal tree stakes because the wooden ones started to rot out. And then this creeping Jenny is huge. I'll probably end up taking this out. If I don't take it out, I might take some of it from here and move it down to the same tree at the end, just to even things out. But I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to remove it. And then we've got some echinacea. This is a mixed one, the Cheyenne or Cayenne mix. And then we've got the bandwidth miscanthus grass. And this peony is going to be beautiful this year. I don't want to touch it too much because it does have the sticky sap on it. I can't wait for that to bloom. And the Royal Standard hosta has a beautiful fragrant flower that smells like roses. It's so nice. And another one of the bandwidth grass. And as you can see, we're getting the donut. So I don't know whether this year or next year I will be cutting it in half and starting kind of anew. Sometimes with grasses you get that dead center. Well, it happens. So you want to just take it out, split it, and replant it. It can be a job depending on how big your clump is. And I'm using some of these Millennium ornamental onions in here as well, because I've got the plants in the back and they need to get divided. So that's what's happening here. I'm going to plant one here, and then I'm going to plant one over on the other side to add some symmetry, and the hosta at the end. So let's check out the garden by the air conditioner. Okay, so there's not much going on here. We've got the variegated lily of the valley that's looking so beautiful. It's starting to produce some blooms, which is nice. It smells so lovely through here when they're in bloom. Then we've got the European ginger that's growing. Hopefully I get some more from seed, and I don't see any seedlings at the moment, but they can be a little late. And there's the Epimedium bandit. I'll put a photo in of what it looked like in full bloom. It was so pretty. Oh my goodness. But the leaves are so cute. They're losing their red leaf margin. You can see some of them right there in the center that still have the red there, or the maroon color. And I really like this hosta. It's not supposed to be this. It was called Pure Heart, but it had a variegation. But I actually really love it without the variegation. It's so pretty. The variegated portion was competed out, and the non-variegated won. But I love the non-variegated. It's so pretty. And then we've got this fern. I thought it was going to die, but it looks like there's a little teeny piece of it. Yeah, we'll see how that grows. Off to the other side. The hostas are doing okay. Got a whole bunch of them here. This one is the Appletini. This one is a whiskey sour. These ones are seedlings thereof. And then we've got this one. What is this one? Barbara Ann hosta back behind. We got more of the variegated lily of the valley that are so beautiful. I've got to come in and pull out the non-variegated ones because I don't want the non-variegated ones to choke out the variegated ones. The variegated ones grow a lot slower, but the reversions will grow much quicker. And then right here is the boxwood cuttings that we took last summer, and they're doing well. We've got new growth on them. I'm going to take these out and divide them out into their own pots or into their own space in the garden if I find a spot. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this garden tour. Stay tuned for the backyard tour. I'm going to try to have it uploaded today, but I don't know. It takes time to edit these things, put them together. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. If it gets uploaded today with this one, you'll probably see the card up at the top to link to the next one. Otherwise, just go to the page and check it out. It might be a week apart, but fingers crossed. Let's hope I can get them both edited in the same day. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing. Hopefully your gardens are doing well, and yeah, enjoy it. Be outside as much as you can.